I've got Tom from HempUSA. Been a supporter of the network with his fine products, powder, the seeds, what the oil can do for you. Hello, Tom.
How you doing, John? I could have sworn I was supposed to be on at 5:30. I guess you got a little overtime there, huh?
Well, no, I got long-winded Leo, and I was trying to be nice, and he just kept bringing up subjects, and I knew you were standing by, but Tom, I know you're a patient guy, and you didn't mind waiting.
No, I didn't.
Besides, you got to hear the conversation.
Let's wake up America and let's let everybody know about hemp. Because still a lot of people know. I got done with the Kevin Trudeau show a couple of weeks ago, and still people are calling. They did not know what hemp was. They didn't know hemp wasn't marijuana. I want to let people know that hemp is not marijuana and marijuana is not hemp. Can we start out with that at least?
You know, it's funny you should say that, Tom, because anytime that ad that we run on this network, and
yes.
If it's the last ad during the 3-minute break and I come back, I always remind people, no, this isn't the stuff that you roll up in a cigarette paper and smoke. It's not that kind of hemp.
That's right.
Yeah.
You said it. But I tell you what, this hemp has changed so many lives. We've been doing this over 3 years now, 5 years in the business. And I just want people to know how they can change their life by putting more magnesium into their body, because 80 to 90% of the Americans are magnesium deficient, and they're acidic. So the 325 enzymatic functions of the heart can't even begin to start without the proper amount of magnesium. So if they would just get that from the food, it would literally change their life. So I just want to let the American people know, and the people around the world from your show, because I do get calls from overseas from your show, that this product will change their life. It's the most densely nutrient plant in the world, and it will feed the body all the nutrients they're not getting from processed food. And I'm going to send you guys another 5-pound sampler for your wife, because I know she loves the product. And some for you, of course, right?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And I want to do a special on your show, okay? We're going to take, we have a new product that's out about 8 months now called microplant powder. We cannot keep it in stock, but I want to do a special because I want people to know that they can detoxify with this product. It's odorless and tasteless, and it is a plant product, a microscopic plant. It has a negative charge. It pulls out toxins. 99% of this microplant powder goes through the body in 24 hours. So it pulls out with it all the toxins, parasites, and heavy metals. And it really is amazing. I have not had a return. I've never had anybody tell me it didn't work. And what I want to do is a special. There's going to be no shipping. There's going to be $10 off the case of microplant powder. There's 4 in a case. And they have to say that they heard it on the John Stadtmiller show. Is that okay, John?
Well, that's fine.
Yeah, and I know one thing that people are going to be blown away with it. It has a 200-year shelf life.
I had heard that in the commercial, and I thought, you know what? That was a pretty impressive thing to say, because many people are always worried about expiration dates and how long can I keep it, what temperature should I store it. Let me get more on that when we get back from the break there, Tom. You know, I was just thinking as you were talking, Tom, I was just in the mall the other day, and I walked by one of these health food stores.
Mm-hmm.
And you know as well as I do that there's a ton of products out there for the people that exercise and want to build muscle, and they would lift weights, and they do everything to puff themselves up.
Yes, they do.
And I looked at the ingredient label on this protein powder.
Oh, it's gross. Whey protein.
I about fell over.
Yep, it's most disgusting. They're feeding crap left over from cheese. They have to fumigate it at 2,000-3,000 degrees and then reperfume it to put it back to sell it to the American people.
If you cook something at 2,000 or 3,000 degrees, what on God's green earth is going to be left nutrient-wise in that powder?
Nothing. It's a filler. And you'll notice whey is in all the candy bars. It's in a lot of processed food. Just look. And I got to tell you something else, John. This is going to blow your mind. Are you ready?
Yeah.
We'll get off hemp for a minute. Did you know the Health Canada paid $50 million to the U.S. FDA to get canola oil accepted by the American people, generally regarded as safe? A couple of years ago, or it just was a couple months ago, I forget actually. It was recently. Whose
business interest out of Canada way would they be willing to pump $50 million into it?
$50 million to get it in, and you're going to notice canola oil in all of your foods. Don't eat it. It is rapeseed, and it is a genetically modified plant grown up in Canada, and it's horrific for the myelin sheath. It eats away at the myelin sheath. And I would say,
hold on, Tom, hold on.
Anybody listen?
That sheath that you're talking about, that's the sheath that goes around in the tendons in your body, right?
Yeah, the myelin sheath that goes around the nerves.
Okay.
That's what the MS is, with the disappearing of the myelin sheath.
Gotcha.
What causes MS. But what I'm saying is, now we'll get back to hemp. You know what rebuilds that sheath? Hemp oil. It's got a perfect balance of omega-3 to omega-6 over any oil on earth. That's why they've kept it out of this country for 70-some years. And it's wonderful for building brain cells and making the arteries stretchable again, and it dilates the arterial wall so blood can flow freely, and it will allow to pass blockages. So it's a wonderful oil to have every day in your diet, 2 to 3 tablespoons. And as I said, our oil is triple filtered. It's the darkest green, tastiest oil you'll ever have.
By the way, I've got a caller here that they want to ask you a few questions.
Oh,
I wanted to ask you.
I normally don't take calls, but okay, I'll take it.
But I wanted to ask you first, because we're coming up here to break in a couple of minutes.
Sure, John.
What did Kevin Trudeau think about your hemp products?
Oh, Kevin loved them. He actually touted them on a couple of his shows recently. Now, he loves the coffee. He loves all the products very much, and he backed them up. And it was a blessing just being on his show, because we reached about 7 million people that night.
Well, you know, he's gotten himself in a lot of hot water by going out there and talking about alternative stuff. The government is. Oh
yeah, they're trying to smear him now. But I tell you what, he's a good man. I wouldn't have been on his show if I didn't trust him, and I do trust Kevin. I think he's a great man. I think you're a great man. Anyone who puts themselves out there to be in the line of fire deserves respect from the American people. Well, and you are one of those people.
Well, I appreciate that very much. I'll tell you what, let's take this break. And Drisk in New York, hang on. We'll take you after the top of the hour break here. I've got Tom on with me from HempUSA. And, geez, if you haven't gotten the website yet, by way of commercial on this network, it's HempUSA.org. And we're talking hemp protein powders, hemp seeds, hemp seed oil, hemp coffee, micro plant powders. I mean, he's got it all on his website, folks. You need to take a look at this. Start to understand, because this guy is a plethora of information on nutrition. And better still, he doesn't tell you how bad the stuff is out there. He's got a product that works for you. We'll take this top of the hour break, be right back. Stay tuned.